Zooba here, and today I'm talking about magic. Jerry Goldsmith's wonderful, wonderful score, and the movie Magic. And here's a Spanish movie poster I have of magic where it's called Magia. Not magic, but magia. Abracadabra, what does it say? Abracadabra, en su rodillo estoy, patasticabra, y hora el yo soy. Pronto, rápido, su pasión consumo, la magia es diversión, pero la muerto. And then the poster's a little ripped up. I can't see what the word is. But that was the, abracadabra. I sit on his lap. Abracadabra. An amazing love story. A terrifying love story. Anyway, I always loved Jerry Goldsmith's Magic 1978 movie. I remember seeing the movie, and the score was just phenomenal. I loved it, and it never came out till years later. It was such a great score, and I don't know why the soundtrack never came out. You know, I mean, that was the year he did Capricorn 1 and The Boys from Brazil and all that kind of stuff. A million scores, and all the other ones came out on soundtrack except Magic. And I didn't understand it, and it was so great. Loved the love theme from Magic and all the harmonica, and I always bring it up, the duck quack, the Goldsmith duck quack in his cue from Corky's Retreat. Remember that? When Anthony Hopkins is going back to that place where his girlfriend... he's going back to some retreat place, hotel, motel, and his old girlfriend Aunt Margaret is working there, and there's some great music where on one of the soundtracks, I think the first soundtrack that came out didn't have the duck quack. I think it was this one, the Varese. It did not have the duck quack turned up to its fullest potential. And then there was another release, I believe, La La Land or another one. Anyway, I made up one too. I remember back in the day, anyway, I got a hold of some session tape of Goldsmith's sessions masters from Magic somehow. And I made a CDR of it, and it had a great mix in the masters, the original masters from the sessions, and it had the duck quack way up there, so it was turned way up high, so you can hear the duck quack. I'll put a link to my duck quack video where you can hear it. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Magic, what a great score. The cues, I remember on the Varese, it had a couple of the cues that weren't on. Well, it did. This is, I think, the first one that came out, and it did have the those cues of the main theme played in when they played in the comedy club or the Magic Club. You can hear it in the background. It was sort of like a jazzy version of the main theme. Is played like elevator music or background music in the club. And I just remember, the Varese did not have that one cue at the beginning of the movie called "We're Gonna Be a Star." And it was just a really short piece of music, but the La La Land did put it on. It's like a 20-second cue, and La La Land put it on. But this Varese didn't have that one little tiny cue on it. But I have so many iterations of it that I made up over the years. And I think the best one is probably the La La Land one, and I don't have it here, but I have it somewhere in the house. But what are your thoughts on Magic? I love the movie too. I love Anthony Hopkins' performance as Corky. I was going to say Corky St. Clair, but he didn't play Corky St. Clair. That was a Christopher Guest movie. He played Corky, the ventriloquist, and Fats. Yeah, so beautiful, brilliant, great score. I love the Appassionata cue with the love theme, and then it gets all twisted and weird when they're making love, and you see Fats sitting over there, contemplating. So much great music in there. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Magic or Magia? Jerry Goldsmith music. I remember working on a film, and I talked to the director of photography, Victor J. Kemper, about Magic, and that one shot at the end of the movie, the very end, where it's close up on Fats and Anthony Hopkins, the dummy and the man, and the camera goes back slowly with the music, and it just keeps going back slowly. And the shot is so weird because it's like they're in this house on a couch, and the shot is going back, and then all of a sudden you're outside of the house, and the camera's still going and still going back, and you see the house in the distance and where they were, and it's like, how did that camera get through that house? How did they do that? How did the camera physically break through the wall and keep going? It had to. And I talked to Victor J. Kemper, the director of photography, and he said there was a window in the house. I was at the window with the camera. We were zoomed in to the dummy and Anthony Hopkins, and then we kept the camera going, but I sort of was coming back, and then when we got to the window where the camera was, then we moved the camera back. So it was it looked like it was one continuous shot. And you would think that the camera had to break through the wall, but it didn't have to break through a wall because they were shooting through a window, and it was all the way up to the window. So when they got to the point of where the window started, then he physically moved the camera back, and then they got that whole epic look. So anyway, I lost my accent sort of during that story. It goes in and out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, your thoughts on Magic, the music by Jerry Goldsmith, and the movie with Anthony Hopkins, Zooba. That's what I was talking about today. Magic. Jerry Goldsmith, Magia, the movie. Cheers.